The anxiety is getting worse. I can feel my heart getting heavier and my pulse quickening. I feel my stomach turning itself out and the way my fingers shake and the breath itches in my throat. I know what I've done. I let it. But I couldn't help it. It's as simple as the joy that came from it, the relief. I loved her. Of course I did. She was beautiful. Even more so as she bled out in my bathtub and I reveled in the sight. The anxiety is worsening.
Okay, seriously, this again? The quality is terrible. It's older than my grandmother. Okay, why can't we just watch something that I like?
Fine, you watch what you want.
That's really nice. I love you.
I love you.
Stay inside, son. Keep him in there, Cal. He's within range. Check.
I'm sorry.
Take him, got it all right, Mr. Finch. I can't shoot that well, you know it. I haven't shot a gun in years. Well, I'd feel mighty comfortable if you did now.
With all my heart she meant it. I've never been a romantic. I hated rose-colored hearts and frilly rainbows, the buttered yellow sun that rested on her face as I held her sweaty hand in the park. No, my romance was a different red. It was the marks on her neck when things got too heated, or the taste of blood on her lip when I bit her a little too hard. It was the purple bruises my lips left on her collarbone, clear evidence of the night before, but she didn't know that. In her head, everything was about her and for her. Her own mistake, I suppose. In her head, she chose to see the pretty hearts and colorful rainbows and the golden sunshine peeking through the window in our bedroom in the morning as her hand reached out to touch my face. Engagement ring bright as the rays hit the diamond. She saw love, but I just could not. All I could do was stare at her as her eyes drooped, focused on the cheesy scene in front of her. She was beautiful. I never doubted that, but for a second I doubted myself. She was pure, she never hurt a fly. But as her head laid to one side and she snuggled into the couch, I knew what I had to do. I took her favorite blanket and laid it on her, and she stirred in her deep sleep but didn't wake. In that moment, I knew she trusted me. And more than that, she trusted in the fact that I loved her. Her blonde hair gathered around her in a tangled mess, and her feet poked out the bottom of the blanket. Her brows furrowed, and her limp hand hung off the side of the couch, wedding ring glittering in the lamplight. I knew I'd let it get too far, but she was by far the most beautiful. As if that was enough.
I knew it was wrong. I think all killers do. Most people assume bloodthirsty humans are demented or need mental help, but the truth is, we all know what we're doing. It's what drives us. It's the adrenaline, the anxiety, overcoming the overwhelming feeling of relief after a victim's chest rises and falls for the last time. I never understood why I was like this. I just knew I was good, and good enough not to get caught. It was a gift, almost a deadly one, but I was graced with it regardless, and who was I to ignore a gift?
Why would she drink after taking medication? I didn't even know Jessica was on medication.
She was so young.
He must be crushed. They were only engaged a couple of weeks.
If only she hadn't lost the ring, at least he'd have something to remember her by.
This must be killing him inside.
And they were such a cute couple.
It was the rush that came afterwards. The fear of knowing what I'd done and the immediate knowledge that I would never get caught. The blood rushing in my veins and the speed with which I had to move. The urgency, the purpose, the need to move, it fueled me in a way that love never could. It wasn't enough to be supported or encouraged. There was no choice but to move after I realized what I'd done. Perhaps that's what I loved, the inevitability. Death is a funny thing, irreversible but also inescapable. I hadn't taken away her right to a choice. I had just sped up the process. What people fail to realize is that love, real love, isn't easy. Not that I would know much of it, but they fool themselves into believing it's pink hearts and rainbows. They see the good, the sunny afternoons spent together. Love in all its purity is a conscious choice to accept someone for their good and their bad. Completely and without question, but people are far from perfect. And some can't accept that another person's flaws play a part. Love can make you lose control. It can drive you crazy. Crazy in love or simply mental. I knew better, however. Only a few can see the love for what it really is. A sacrifice, willingness to give yourself to someone else. Love can push you to the edge. A one-way fall to nothingness, a distant memory, and an almost comical disappearance. So, in all my advanced enlightenment, I chose a better path. Survival. A human instinct. I chose instead to save myself and throw love off the edge. That doesn't make me a monster. It makes me human, doesn't it?